The great majority of the human race believes they know what they need to know thanks to religious and scientific religious belief, and seek to indoctrinate subsequent generations with the same delusion. The global cult achieves this through repetition programming from the earliest moments of human life and through childhood intimidation, guilt, and fear. This is what happens to you if you don't believe what I tell you. To me, this is child abuse. Some simple facts reveal this truth. Those born to Christian families in the southern states of America will invariably become Christians. Kids in Muslim families become Muslims, Hindus become Hindus, and Jewish children follow Judaism. This is clearly not because all of them have decided through free thought that this is how they choose to perceive reality. Indoctrination, often intimidatory indoctrination, is how this is done. Each generation should be given access to all information and possibility available, and then respected in how they choose to respond. I hear people demanding freedom in the so-called alternative media, who would never define freedom that way. You mean I can't tell my children to believe what I do? You mean my children have the freedom not to believe in Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Hinduism? Never, they say. They then return to their demand for freedom from tyranny without seeing that they're part of the tyranny. Religions are prisons of the mind that build impenetrable walls around limited belief and block the exploration of infinity beyond them. I contend in The Trap and the Dream and other books that reincarnation of consciousness is the trap that recycles, quote, souls in and out of this insane reality for reasons I'll explore later. Judeo-Christianity and Islam don't believe in reincarnation at all, except for Christian Jesus, while Eastern religions like Hinduism say that reincarnation is necessary to learn lessons to reach a state of enlightenment, to be free of the cycle on the Buddhist wheel of samsara. Either way, a non-belief in reincarnation or a belief that it is God's plan mean that any suggestion that reincarnation is a calculated trap is dismissed by reflex action. Such is the role of belief in preventing exploration of infinite possibility. How can we know more by refusing to go further than we think we already know, but don't?
No rivers to cross, trusting the enlightenment that's always right here. Chapter 2, Eternal Truth. Han Mom. Han means one, infinite, and combined, and Mom means mind. So Han Mom means the fundamental mind that is intangible, invisible beyond time and space, and has no beginning or end. It means that all minds and all things, the world and the universe, are all interconnected and are working together as one. In other words, Han Mom embraces the whole universe and all the lives within it. Every single life and thing in the universe has Buddha nature, which has existed without beginning, exists now, and will exist forever. Buddha nature is only one, so it is Han Mom. It is inconceivably large, so it is Han Mom. It is not an individual thing, but the interconnected whole, in which all things are working together. So it is Han Mom. All things come from it. So it is Han Mom. The minds of all lives in the world are one Fundamentally, there is no you or I separating them. Inherently, life is one. Inherently, life is Buddha. The minds of all lives are working together as one. So this is called one mind. The entire universe is directly connected to the fundamental mind of humans and all life. Chewing Gong. Chewing Gong is the fundamental mind with which each one of us is inherently endowed, and the mind that is directly connected to every single thing. Through this connection, Chewing Gong functions together with everything as one. Chewing Gong is my true foundation. My body and my thoughts are like branches and leaves that arise and disappear. Chewing Gong is the root that makes new branches and leaves when the old ones break and fall. If I am the fruit, Chewing Gong is the stem that sustains the fruit. If I am a stem, Chewing Gong is the branch from which the stem hangs. If I am the branch, Chewing Gong is the trunk that the branch comes from. If I am the trunk, Chewing Gong is the root. The root is the basis of the tree. The trunk, branches, leaves, and fruit all come from it. Like this, all of my thoughts, all of my activities, and all of my virtue and merit arise from Chewing Gong. Look at the world. There is no starting or ending point. There is just the middle path. From the perspective of the process of evolution, lives are affected by circumstances and the environment, and they can adapt themselves to a certain degree. However, the more fundamental things depend upon consciousness. Emptiness doesn't mean that there is nothing. Emptiness gives rise to matter and is not different from matter. Emptiness continuously manifests as matter. While living, it dies. While dead, it lives. It flows and changes without being stationary for even a moment. Emptiness is not dead, it is alive. To be empty means to be full, because the manifestations and workings of emptiness are so infinite. Sean Masters often just said nothing. Sometimes even this wasn't enough. So again they said nothing. The path is blocked if you ignore your foundation. Through mind you have to activate the wireless telephone that is within you. Then the path will be open and you can communicate. If you can break through in this way, there is nothing anywhere that you cannot see, hear, or understand. Furthermore, nothing will be able to block or hinder you. You will become aware of the existence of a completely different style of living. This is what is called the all-reaching hands and feet of Buddha. From the basic elements, every kind of life arose. Every life has the inherent ability to change, and they have done so. Chapter 4. The Essence of Mind. What is mind? Mind is the foundation of the universe, the foundation of the sun, and the foundation through which human beings manage and do all of the things in their daily lives. Mind is the omniscient and omnipotent creator that makes everything and transcends all concepts. Mind does not have color, shape, location, beginning or end. Mind cannot be said to be this or that, inside or outside. Mind cannot be divided, cannot be absorbed, and cannot be destroyed. It transcends time, it transcends space, it transcends everything. There is mind inside of mind, the fundamental mind, which from the very beginning is absolutely clean, can never be stained, and is as it is. On the other hand, there is also the discriminating mind, which causes us to pass through the cycle of life and death. It doesn't know about the existence of the fundamental mind and thinks that ever-changing defilements and delusions are its essence. For the sake of explanation, we can talk about two different types of mind, but in actuality they are not separate. Mind is always complete as it is, so it shines forth like the sun. Mind is never hindered by anything. It is always just as it is, inwardly and outwardly. Its ability is unlimited. There is no one and no thing that can take it away or destroy. No matter how powerful a spirit, no matter how great a Buddha, neither one can destroy your fundamental mind. Although the sun is very bright and the universe inconceivably vast, they are not greater than the light and ability of your mind. All realms and all universes are connected together through the same fundamental mind. Thus, everything shares the same body, same life, works together as one, and shares all things together. Mind can freely come and go without any hindrance, even over distances of thousands or millions of miles. Ultimately, everything and everyone in the universe is harmoniously living together, sharing the same mind. The profound ability of mind. When mind is deep and sincere, there is no place it does not reach. Mind is the true energy, the energy with which lives evolve and the world develops. However, unless people believe in the energy of mind, they cannot use it and it cannot manifest in their lives. If you would truly experience this energy for yourself, you must start by realizing it's there. Mind has the power of magnetism, the power of light, the power of electricity, and the power of communication. This infinite ability of mind brings whatever is needed, communicates with everything everywhere, and freely gives and receives. If you completely let go of the thought, I am doing, you can freely use the energy of mind, thoroughly and clearly, without being intimidated by anything. If you want to use the energy of mind, you just use it. If you don't want to use it, you don't, without clinging to thoughts of using or not using. You must know that the energy of mind comes from your foundation. Chapter 6. Guan, Entrust and Observe. Entrust and let go of everything. The wall of fixed ideas. Letting go means letting go of not only distressing and unpleasant things, but also every kind of fixed idea. We carry around so many fixed ideas, such as you and I, good and bad. You made all of these fixed ideas. and as long as you cling to them, it's impossible for you to become one with your true nature, Gong. The worst prison in the world is the prison of thought. The most difficult wall in the world to overcome is the wall of fixed idea. From a certain perspective, spiritual practice means freeing yourself from such prisons of thought. Thus, if you keep thinking, I'm just an unenlightened being, then because of that thought, you cannot play any role other than that of an unenlightened being. Be very aware of the great difference a single thought can make. Don't make a big deal about other people's level of spiritual development. If you discriminate between higher and lower, you will not be able to make progress in your own practice. Even though you truly know, do not give rise to the thought that you know. Even though you may be higher, do not think that you are higher. Even though someone else may be ignorant, you should not let yourself be caught by thoughts like that. Thoughts of I, clinging to the idea that you and others are different, to the extent that you cannot even imagine everything is just one, is the fundamental obstacle that blocks the path to Buddha. At first, focusing on I may seem somewhat helpful, but in fact it is the foundation of evil. Clinging to these thoughts of I actually prevents us from being able to participate in the Buddha realm, and prevents us from experiencing the incredible benefits of that participation. Until we thoroughly know the truth of non-duality, there can be no lasting peace for us. Therefore, as a practitioner, you must not view anything dualistically, and you must heavily and sincerely release everything into your foundation and go forward.
It's moving your point of attention. That's what it is. You move your point of attention, and you move it here, and feel that point of attention here, not here, and you'll see the situation you face. I know because I've done it myself, and I've talked to others about doing it, and they have, and they say, yes, it does work. You get to bring it to here. A situation that you're facing looks very different here to here, and vice versa. This is what we need to go. We need to become the heart-centered society that we are being hijacked and manipulated out of. Now, it's not just about moving your point of attention here and seeing a situation from here. Once you move your point of attention here, the vortex opens. Because now you're interacting with it with your own awareness instead of interacting in a way that's dominated by this emotion. And when that opens, what comes through that energetic channel is innate intelligence, innate insight, innate knowing. And suddenly you're seeing the world and getting insights into things, and you're seeing what is happening as it is, and not as this is programmed to see it. And this is programmed to see it. You see, the brain, isolated from the heart, works in unison with the emotional chakra, and these two in unison, crikey, they're a bloody nightmare. Look at everything about human society that you don't like. These two buggers working in unison are where it comes from. This. See, this, I'm talking about these emotional and perception programs that I say are running through junk DNA. Once the heart is no longer impacting in any way significantly on our sense of perception, on a sense of reality, and all the rest of it, our sense of response, then the brain becomes the governor of our what? Perception. Emotional chakra, and these two in unison, crikey, they're a bloody nightmare. Look at everything about human society that you don't like. These two buggers working in unison are where it comes from. This. See, this, I'm talking about these emotional and perception programs. Once the heart is no longer impacting in any way significantly on our sense of perception, on a sense of reality, and all the rest of it, our sense of response, then the brain becomes the governor of our what? Perception. And that perception of something becomes an emotional response to something, and this is an emotional response from your, if you like, your holographic manifestation of the perception programs of self and the world and reality running through, and here is your holographic expression in response and reaction of the emotional program. And these have created the world we don't like. They've created the ability of the few to dictate to the vast majority. Because this will never see it. This will never get it, except up to a point. This can get to a point where it can see the names, dates, places, Bilderberg group level of engineered wars level of what's going on in the world. But seeing where that is coming from, what's behind it, you've got to go in here. Because if you don't, you can't get into the rabbit hole. Because this can only go so far. And it's my view, and in my experience anyway, you've not even entered it yet. Because it's still the movie. This holographic reality is like a holographic movie. And when a movie has hit the screen, that's it. It's a done deal. You're going to change the movie now. And that's what this world is, this holographic world. What the human body computer is doing is taking vibrational waveform information, which is what the five senses do. It's turning into electrical information, same information, different form, and it communicates that to the brain and the whole genetic structure, in fact, and that decodes it through into the digital and then the holographic. So the holographic, this apparently physical world, is the end of the story. That, in movie terms, is the movie hitting the screen. You ain't going to change it. You won't stand up in front of a movie screen and start shouting at the screen and telling the movie to change. Well, people will go, you're mad, mate, you're mad. If you want to change the movie, you've got to change the reel. It's being projected from back here. But that's what we're doing. You know, so many ways that people respond to this conspiracy when they meet it at some level. It's, we must get out in the streets and protest. Well, I'm not saying don't. But that's still trying to change the movie when the movie's hit the screen. If you come back and go deeper in the rabbit hole, and you understand where this movie's being projected from, which is from other frequency bands of reality through the Illuminati families and the Illuminati structure within visible light human society to become the movie we call human society, then you can go back to the point it's coming from, and therefore you can change what's coming. You can change the movie. And so when I look at so much conspiracy research, good luck to them. You know, everybody that comes and does this, hallelujah to you. Good on you. But there comes a point where we know how the system works in the holographic world. I mean, what's left? Finding out what size shoes Henry Kissinger takes. Yes, on a daily basis as it unfolds, we need to, keep with it. But, okay. But are we going to become recorders of our own enslavement? Oh, see, I told you they'd do this next. Look, they're doing it. If we do that, we've moved from not knowing that the prison's being built around us to seeing the prison being built around us. But there's a common theme between the two of them. The prison's being built around us. And that's fine if people want to do that only. I'm not saying don't do it, but to do it only and ignore where it's coming from, therefore the solution or the removing the cause of the problem. The people who only do that will record and record and record and record their own gathering enslavement and the enslavement of humanity until
we wake up.
Would you come with me, sir? I ain't waiting for that. We need to change where it's coming from. And for that, there are some major challenges for those in the conspiracy research arena who are dominated by a sense of patriotism and dominated by a sense of a religion. Because patriotism, in the sense of, I'm not saying don't, love your country and love your culture, nothing like that. But patriotism, in the sense of self-identity, I am an American, I am an American patriot. No! That is your experience. What you are is infinite awareness. All that is, has been, and never can be. All possibility. Having that experience. And I'm a Christian. No, you're not. That's the belief system you have chosen to take on as your persona.
Exactly.
But it's an experience of being a Christian. It is not who you are.
Yes, exactly.
And if you self-identify with being a Christian or being a Jew or being a Muslim or being a Hindu, again, you are in a self-identity which is self-identifying with something that's not you. And also, and this is in terms of getting to the origin, it means that you are not going to go, I've come across this all the time, I mean, I'm the guy that people in mainstream society, they see conspiracy researchers of the five sense nature as extreme and crazy. A lot of them see me as extreme and crazy because if you think that all you need to know about life and reality is between the covers of two covers of a book written by who knows who knows when, and who knows what circumstances, the Quran and the Bible and all the rest of it, then and what that tells you are and reality is and how it all works, you ain't even gonna begin to go down the rabbit hole into the areas that we need to understand. Because if you do, you immediately realize that your religion is part of the conspiracy.
Exactly.
I talked earlier about the archons and this demiurge that this like devil figure, as Christians would call it, that the Gnostics talked about in their texts. Well, that demiurge and those archons, those jinn and whatever you want to call it, those reptilians and all the different facets,
or vertical, as the
they
Americans call
are
it.
the force that the major religions worship as God. It is the Islamic God, it is the Christian God, Well, I'm being controversial now, aren't I? I have been known to. I don't care. I want the truth, not popularity contest and victory. It's the God of Islam. It's the God of Christianity. It's the God of Judaism. Yahweh. Oh, that's the demiurge. That's this fake manipulator of creation that the Gnostics talked about. So we got this situation. Please tell me it's not true. I'm afraid it is. But it doesn't have to be. We just change it, and it's gone. But where this unseen network that the Gnostics talked about, all these people talk about, have created this conspiracy, this network of human manipulation of politics and business and banking and all the rest of it. And some people, increasingly large numbers of people, fantastic, have started to see that and challenge it and try to expose it. But at the same time, they are welded to religions that are worshipping the very force that created what they're trying to expose. I suggest what we need is, yes, to move here,
Yep.
to open this and let consciousness in, but we also need a blank sheet of paper. A blank sheet of paper that says, okay, all preconceived ideas over here. All preconceived beliefs and perceptions of reality over here. Now, from this point, what goes on that sheet of paper in terms of my perception of reality comes from information, comes from innate knowing, does it feel right, and comes from it standing up on the basis of credible information and intuitive knowing.
Wisdom is knowing that matter and the physical body are merely images in a dream, that they are just drops of water stirred up by the wind and waves. Ignorance is nothing other than insisting that an individual I exists, while forgetting that the physical body and matter cannot avoid disappearing. Just throw away I, and a million kinds of suffering and confusion will all fall asleep. My possessions, my thoughts, my fame, what I deserve, all of these imprison you inside of a barrel. Unfortunately, unenlightened people usually think that these are defensive walls that can protect them when they face troubles and difficulties. Therefore, you try to make them higher and thicker as time goes on. However, as you do this, your mind shrinks and becomes cold. As a result, this wall is not something that protects you. It is a wall that hurts you, a wall that imprisons you. Nothing can be put in a wall that is completely full. You cannot put anything into a mind that is already filled with thoughts of I, attachments, desires, and the self-pride that insists that you are the best. A bowl has to be emptied before it can benefit from new things. Let go unconditionally. There are no justifications or reasons involved in letting go. As soon as something arises unconditionally, entrust it to chewing gum, your foundation. Entrust everything to chewing gum. Entrust the things you understand and the things you don't understand. Entrust happiness and entrust suffering. Entrust poverty and entrust disease. Let go of things that are not going well, and let go of things that are going well. Let go. Knowing only chewing gum can truly show me the path. By letting go like this, you can empty your mind and unload the heavy luggage you have been carrying for eons. By letting go like this, you can clean up the dust of your mind, which has been accumulating for eons, and you can truly live and truly die. Don't try to take care of things by relying upon theories, sutras, clever words, or other people's ideas. Instead, just let go while believing that only chewing gum can solve it. Let go once, let go twice, let go continuously, so that you are used to letting go. Keep letting go, so that it becomes second nature, like taking off your shoes when you enter a house. Then even problems of genetics and karma will melt down. Let go to emptiness. Where should we let go to? Let go to emptiness. What is emptiness? Emptiness means all lives changing and manifesting every instant and functioning together as one. Every single thing is empty, including myself. Everything is subject to the law of emptiness. Everything is changing and manifesting, including myself. So we are inherently living while letting go. Even the thought I've done has no place to stick to. Thus, there's no need to even say let go or entrust. However, many people don't understand this, so I say let go to emptiness as a method to help them realize the truth. How could we live without letting go to emptiness? Karma is the absolutely unavoidable result of what we have done. It arises continuously from within us. I'm concerned that if I say to just let go of everything, it may seem too ambiguous. So I have said, take emptiness as the central pillar and let go of everything to that. When a pinwheel rotates, it relies upon the central point. Likewise, you have to make chewing gum your foundation, your center point. Rely upon the center and entrust it with all things. When you can do this, you can live with vitality and you can live freely like flowing water. All things are directly connected to each other through the foundation, and unseen energy flows back and forth between all lives and things. However, when people discriminate, clinging to some things and rejecting or avoiding others, they block this energy from flowing freely. Thus, if you just let go and entrust everything to your foundation, to chewing gum, this energy can flow naturally, exactly as needed. Although it is said that you should let go inwardly or return things inward, in fact, chewing gum is neither inside nor outside. Chewing gum is the combination of all things in the universe and existed before all of those things. Although it cannot be grasped, it can be grasped. The virtue and merit of letting go. When you keep letting go of everything to chewing gum and observing, karma will collapse, habits will melt down. Your true self will be revealed, and every kind of hindrance will surrender to you. Chewing gum is like a mailbox. If you put something into chewing gum and observe, it will be delivered, and a reply will return. When people hear let go of everything, they often ask, how can I live if I do that? However, when you let go, you can truly live. Unenlightened people believe that it is necessary to plan and think carefully about every single thing. However, awakened people don't raise thought for each little thing. Instead, they just rest deeply. Yet, everything they do is in accord with the Dharma, without even the slightest error. Because they let go, their actions are more harmonious, natural, profound, sincere, beautiful, and more beneficial than any actions that are done by relying on intellect or planning. Thus, for a true practitioner, everything in daily life is itself the path, because they let go and rest. Every single thing they do, whether moving, standing, sitting, or lying down, it's all naturally in accord with the Dharma. Go forward with steps that never leave any trace. Accept everything that confronts you with a positive attitude, and never try to avoid anything you face. It's not a problem of obtaining something, or getting rid of something, or not getting rid of something. Just make sure you aren't trying to avoid the things that are coming, and don't try to cling to the things that are leaving. Become a brave person who is never stained by anything or attached to anything. Become a true human being, a person who is both the most normal and the most extraordinary. No deceptions, excuses, or rationalizations can help you awaken to your foundation. Accomplishing things naturally is the best way, instead of using your intellect to make detailed plans in order to accomplish something, and trust it to your foundation. Your foundation is the source of all truth, so it is completely able to take care of whatever you entrust to it. Everyone can do this. Everyone can experience this. Even if you're facing an emergency that seems beyond your ability, entrust that to chewing gum and keep watching. Have faith in chewing gum and continue to entrust and observe. Keep watching without discriminating between things. Chewing gum, your foundation, will take. Firmly believe this and go forward. This is meditation. This is entrusting and observing. Have faith in chewing gum and keep entrusting it with whatever confronts you, and just keep watching what comes out. When you entrust things to chewing gum, never think of yourself and chewing gum as being separate. Inherently, you and chewing gum are one. You are the one who lets go, and at the same time, you are also the one who receives. Guan, observing. As things confront you, let them go to your foundation and continue to observe. Even if the sky collapses, continue to let go and observe. Let go of everything to your foundation and watch, because everything functions together as one through your foundation. Although I tell you to observe and entrust to your foundation all of the things and difficulties that confront you, Fundamentally, none of those things are separate from Hanma. Nonetheless, you still need to keep observing and entrusting them. If you keep practicing like this, your focus will change from letting go and observing to trying to find the foundation, the true self that watches you let go and observe. Observing means watching the center that has no fixed shape and never stands still. Observing is not praying for something, begging. Chewing gong for help is praying, not entrusting and observing. Just have faith in chewing gong and entrust it with everything and keep watching. Input everything to the computer that is the mind and pay attention to what comes out. Connect with your inherent Buddha and observe how the things you entrusted are taken care of naturally and automatically.